Hi everyone, welcome to the Highlights from Ukraine podcast, your daily audio summary of the latest news reported in the Ukrainian media. My name is Artem and here is the news. 565 days less the Russian invasion of Ukraine. The Defense Intelligence of Ukraine claimed that it managed to regain control of gas and oil drilling platforms near occupied Crimea, reports Espresso. Also known as boycott towers, they are gas and oil drilling platforms off the coast of Crimea in the Black Sea. Russia occupied them back in 2015 and has been using for military purposes since the beginning of the full-scale invasion, specifically as helicopter landing sites and for the deployment of radar equipment. During the operation, Special Forces personnel managed to capture valuable trophies, a stockpile of helicopter munitions such as unguided aerial missiles, as well as the Neva radar system, which can track the movement of ships in the Black Sea. During one phase of the operation, combat took place between Ukrainian Special Forces on boats and the Russian Su-30 fighter jet. As a result of the battle, the Russian aircraft was hit and forced to retreat. The media assumed that the operation itself took place in August. President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky informed in his evening video address that Germany is preparing a new military support package for Ukraine. He informed and discussed it with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz earlier and with Minister of Foreign Affairs Annalena Baerbock, who visited Kyiv yesterday. According to the president, the new package will include air defense systems, artillery and equipment. Zelensky stressed that additional air defense systems will be in Ukraine. Earlier, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine Dmytro Kuleba expressed confidence that Berlin will sooner or later decide to provide Ukraine with long-range Taurus missiles. And it would be better if it happened as soon as possible, reports European Pravda. He said this at a joint briefing with the head of the German Foreign Ministry Annalena Baerbock in Kyiv. Kuleba noted that this issue was discussed during the meeting and mentioned that the question is open and moving forward in the internal German discussion. We would really appreciate if you could rate us, ideally with 5 stars, and leave a glowing review in the app where you are listening to this podcast, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, and others. This really helps more people to find out about the highlights from Ukraine and truth about Russia's invasion. The German government has instructed the Rheinmetall company to supply 40 more Marder infantry fighting vehicles to Ukraine, reports Hromadske. Rheinmetall is currently working to overhaul the vehicles and will ensure that they can be delivered as per contract starting in 2023. This order will bring the total number of Marder infantry fighting vehicles that Rheinmetall will supply to Ukraine to 80. President Volodymyr Zelensky stated that cases of corruption in Ukraine are not related to the assistance from its partners, reports Ukrainska Pravda. In an interview with CNN, Zelensky said that all these cases are not about weapons from Ukraine's partners or financial support. At the same time, the president stressed that there is no other way except to make corruption impossible. According to the recent public opinion poll, 78% of Ukrainians believe that the head of state is directly responsible for corruption in government and military administrations. Thank you for listening to the Highlights from Ukraine podcast, when a commercial initiative of just 2 people and we need your help to grow. Share information about the podcast, rate us in the app, subscribe to our Patreon. With your support, we are getting better. We call on you to demand from governments of your countries to impose the toughest sanctions possible on Russia and its citizens to stop their invasion of Ukraine.